So I've come out for a walk very close to home in a place called Jesmond. Again, just to try my equipment out. So come up to a place which I interestingly saw on one of Alan Robson's YouTube channels. This place here, and I don't know what it is, but there's a sign. So rather than me try to guess what it is, I can go and check the sign. And I'll come to what he saw in that window later. So yeah, what does it say? The banqueting hall. Built in 1860. La-di-da-di-da. Banqueting hall. Doesn't really say much else, so no doubt the great and the good used to spend time there, have all the horses wheeled through into the back here. And up here, in this window, on one of his podcasts, stroke live streams, they picked up what appeared to be the reflection or the apparition of a woman in that window. So I don't know. I mean, I looked at it and it looked a little bit artifactual because they couldn't see it with a naked eye, which isn't a problem, but it looked almost, because the quality was so poor and I didn't really, but maybe it did look like something. So yeah, I might link that one and go back to it, analyze it again. But yeah, in that middle pane of glass up here, they appear to be the body of a person, of what appeared to be a woman looking back out of the window. I mean, look, we'll see though. So anyway, I'm gonna go and look at a place called St. Mary's Chapel, and then I'm going up to a place called the Old Mill in the Dene itself. So it's a bit of an evening walk. There's quite a bit of folklore and things up around these areas, like there is in all parts of England basically, in these old wooden copse, mixed forest woodlands and stuff. So much history around them. But anyway, I'm hoping that something might be picked up in that window, but nah, it won't be. So I'm in a, this is like, defies belief really, right smack bang in the middle of suburban streets, literally. 15 feet away is suburbia, terraced houses, detached houses, whatever. Heart of Jesmond, and here we have a chapel, which in Christendom has such significance. It was apparently where the Virgin Mary was seen. People saw premonition, or sorry, an apparition of her here, which led to the church declaring it an incredibly holy site and a site of pilgrimage. So people from all over the world started coming here and getting charged for it as well. Clever business model, isn't it? Create your mirages in little areas which don't really have any sort of like pull. Say there's been a mirage, monetize it, and then you'll have a huge swath of people coming in from all over the world to pay tribute. Yeah, I think that's what probably this was, because yeah, I mean, why would the Virgin Mary have decided to spring up in Newcastle in a little woodland like this? But she did apparently, and here I am, like in the middle of this chapel. It's mad to think. What I can't get my head around is just simply there is literally houses just over here. Just houses on the street. And it's all the same all the way around. And now we have these little best teacher ever. Where have I heard that before? Yeah, interesting. Little tributes and things. Quite beautiful in a way. Yeah, just houses everywhere, just in the back, just completely circumventing all around this little chapel. So I'm going to venture down into the Dene now and go to a place called the Old Mill. I might even do an investigation up there, I don't know. A lot of people have said things, mysterious things up around that area. I can't find a great deal other than just basic anecdotal stuff online about it, but I might have a little look, get the equipment out, get the night vision. The only thing I'm likely to encounter is like packs of like estate kids though, tearing around, probably. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. So I've just come back to the banqueting hall site, walking past it on the way down to the Old Mill through the Dene, and I thought I'd just get the night vision camera on and have a look up at that window where they apparently saw a figure of someone on one of their investigations. I can't see anything, but one thing that was interesting was some of the comments on video said it was a reflection in the window. And there's no way it can be, because that window, the base of it is probably around 16 feet up off the ground. You can see from the top of the car there. And there is nothing behind me that could give off a reflection. So maybe they did pick up something. But anyway, there's nothing coming up on my camera. It just looks pretty flat. Okay, so I'm right in the heart of the Dene now. As you can probably hear, it's very loud because of the waterfall, which I'm going to show in a moment. Very black, very dark, even with the moon approaching a full moon. And it's always a bit strange being in places like this, which are on the heart of urban areas, because you just don't know what kind of weirdos are kicking around. So anyway, I'm going to have a little look around. As you can see, there's the Old Mill. So I'm not going to do an investigation here. This is, like I say, just a chance to get out, have a little evening walk, trial all my new gear. But yeah, it does look pretty cool. Yeah, as you can see the old wheel there as well. Yeah, just industrial use. All the gearing's still here. Yeah, it feels actually stranger being in a place which is in the heart of the city than it does being out in some remote deserted castle out in Northumberland. I mean, being here, it just, I don't know, it doesn't really have the same, everything seems drowned out by civilization because it's more visceral. People, cars, traffic, dog walkers, runners, everything. And it just feels like there's too much human pressure, and you can't really get a chance to connect to the stillness and the solitude of the places which are more cut off from people. That's what I found anyway. But yeah, anyway, I think I'll have a little look around here. Absolutely pointless doing an investigation for sure. But I'll get my night vision camera out and I might have a walk through the woods. Well, that is really weird. I've just seen something that has genuinely freaked me out. Like, really has freaked me out. I thought I saw someone coming down steps with like a phone or a light, but it wasn't big enough. It was circular. It could have been, it looked like almost like a pen torch, a spot torch. And it looked, I could see them coming down. So I shone my torch on, and it was the bank of the wall. There was nothing there, and it's freaked me the hell out. That is like really genuinely freaked me the hell out. I'm gonna show where. So I saw what it would appear like the light coming down here, which I assumed was a path, and I walked down here, and then I realised it was this. Across here. Now admittedly, it could have been someone walking along that. It's a false alarm. Jeez man, still. There's probably someone smoking a cigarette or something, but they look to be walking along there. Now, yeah, this path is on the level. So if they were walking along here, that's the perfect height. Yeah, it just goes to show. That's science in motion, that's testing the hypothesis, and it's really interesting that I genuinely felt there was something dancing around almost on there, with no pathways, nothing. And then as I get down here, come up over the bridge, that's when I see that they were walking along the path line here, and I could see the light, perhaps of their cigarette or whatever it was, dancing through the bush. I'm going to go and put my night vision on just so I can illustrate it more clearly. Yeah, so that's where I thought I saw someone or a light flashing way above the river, and as I came down, and realised that bridge joined onto a path which runs along here. So I'm having second thoughts about that having been in person, because I've just been down and walked slightly along that path with my night vision. I've got some genuine night vision goggles which illuminate the place, and I just thought I saw another light. You can't walk through there without a torch. It is pitch black, and I didn't see a torch. It was more like a ball of light, not a beam. I think that was something. I don't think it was a person. If it was a torch, I would have seen it. If it was a mobile phone, it would have been rectangular. It was small, circular. I just don't think there's any way someone could have walked through that path without me having seen them shining a torch. It's pitch black. And I feel really freaked out by it. Really freaked out. That's very odd. So I'm just going to walk down. And illustrate what I mean by that. So I was over here. This is the path that I surmised someone was walking along, and what I saw was like a light source dancing through here, but it wasn't a beam like this. And there is no way it is pitch black as you get down here. Yeah. No way you can walk through without a light. Yeah, so I'm a bit surprised by my reaction to that. Say, stood over here, looking through here. Nah. Second thoughts, I think it just, I just don't know what to make of that. I do not know what to make of it. %, was not a torch. 100% was not a torch. But the only thing that kind of, it does raise the possibility it was someone walking along here, because it would have been perfect height for something to have been seen through this bush here by me on the other side. Because that's where I saw it, around about here. No, it was here, it was lower. When I was up here, I'd walked up these steps. It was there. It was here. Anyway, that's enough. Okay, yeah, so I really don't know what to make of that. I know from watching Alan Robson's channel, they've done a few investigations, couple of investigations in here, and they've seen picked up some strange things, lights, movements, that sort of thing, but I'm very 50-50 on that, just because it could have been somebody with some form of light on their phone, or a small mag light torch, tiny one. But I just don't understand it. The light looked like it was almost like moving like that, and not in a linear fashion as if they were moving along a line along the path. So, and when I saw it, I just felt that sense of the rush you get through your body. Like, what am I watching here? What am I looking at? There's a light dancing above the water. No, sorry, at first I thought that's just someone walking along a path. But then when I shone it, my torch, that's when I realised it was just over open space. But then I subsequently found that there was a path that it could have been on, even though closer inspection it looks like it was lower than the path by 2 or 3 feet. I don't know. But a few things don't make sense. Like, why would someone walk along that path with a negligible bit of illumination? Because it was no way good enough. If it was a torch, I would have seen the beam, 100%. The diffuse effect, the cone effect of a torch, and it wasn't. It was point. It was point source, and it didn't emanate a beam. And I saw that. And what else could it have been? Could it have been the end of a cigarette? I don't think I would have picked it up. I think it was just too small to pick up in that undergrowth. And I think it was bigger. This is the thing, I just wish I could have put my GoPro on and recorded it. Lost opportunity, but I felt like a sense of dread for sure. And I didn't want to walk down that path. So, okay, well, that's a summary of the experience. I'm really skeptical about these. They're just, again, I don't know whether it's prejudice, thinking that just because we're virtually in the city centre here, that these places can't or won't have anything going on. But that's just stupidity. Of course they could. It's got nothing to do with proximity to things, you know. I guess I'm just going to have a latent prejudice of thinking I need to be out in the rural backwaters of Northumberland in order to enhance my chances of seeing things or experiencing things. But wow, yeah, I'm 50-50 on that. I'm trying to explain it, what it could have been, but there's enough doubt to think it might have been something else. It's a 50-50. Okay, right, well, that's enough for now. I'm out of here. Until the next one.